Hello students, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be discussing the MCQs on Indian polity with all important facts which are very important for many competitive exams. So be with this video till the end. If you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so that you can get the notification of my new videos. Which part of the Constitution of India provides for the directive principles of a state policy? Directive principles of the state policy is like the instruction or the guidance to the state that how the states will run. It is mentioned in part 4. Option B is the correct option. The directive principles are mentioned from Article 36 to Article 51 in Indian Constitution. These articles are also very important for many competitive exams. These articles are also often asked. Directive principles are fundamental to the governments of the country and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. The directive principles are not justifiable. Who was appointed as India's first Lokpal in 2019? Pinaki Chandra Ghosh. Option B is the correct option. The Lokpal and Lokayukta Act are also very important for exam perspective. So you must know some important facts about this Lokpal and Lokayukta. The Lokpal and Lokayukta Act was passed in 2013. Retired Supreme Court Judge Pinaki Chandra Ghosh was appointed as the first Lokpal of India by a committee consisting of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi, and Speaker of the Lok Sabha Sumitra Mahajan. This committee is also very important for exam perspective. It was appointed on 23rd March 2019. Pradeep Kumar Mohanty became the second chairperson of Lokpal, assumed office on 28 May 2022. Concurrent list in the Constitution refers to legislative, administrative and financial matters over which concurrent list is related to central and state governments. You must know about the three lists of Indian Constitution. First is related to union list, means central government is responsible for the first list. Second list is related to the state government and third list, concurrent list, it is related to both central and state government. So the correct option is option D. Let us know some important facts about the concurrent list about which questions are oftenly asked in exam. Concurrent list is taken from Australian Constitution. This is also very important question. This list is also known as list 3. It is a list of 52 items given in the 7th schedule. Schedule is also asked in exam. It includes the power to be considered by both the union and state government. Means union and state government both can make the laws related to the concurrent list. Through the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976, 5 subjects were transferred from state to concurrent list. These subjects are also oftenly asked in exam. What are these subjects? Education, forest, weights and measures, protection of wild animals and birds, and administration of justice. In which case the Supreme Court of India gave the verdict that the power of the President to dismiss a state government is not absolute. This was S.R. Bomai versus Union of India 1994. This case was related to the President's rule in a state and many provisions were done after this case. President can remove a member of Union Cabinet on the advice of It can be removed on the advice of Prime Minister. A judge of the Supreme Court of India can be removed from office by the judge of the Supreme Court of India only can be removed through the impeachment process. An impeachment process is completed by the Parliament and after that the President of India will remove the judge of Supreme Court. So the correct option for this question is option C. President of India when both the houses of parliament approve such removal with two-thirds majority. The minimum age for becoming a candidate for Rajya Sabha election is this is 30 years. For Lok Sabha election, the minimum age is 25 years. What was the major ground on which proclamation of emergency was made in 1975? So far, the proclamation of emergency was made three times. First is in 1962 due to Indo-Sino War, second is in 1971 due to Indo-Pak War, and third time due to the internal disturbance in 1975. So the correct answer for this question is the threat to the security of India. It was the first time when emergency was imposed in India due to the internal disturbance. President of India is elected by the members of, let us see the options one by one. All members of parliament, state legislative assemblies and legislative councils. No, this is not the correct option because the legislative councils member can't participate in the election of the president. Elected members of the parliament and the state legislative assemblies. This is correct. Elected members of both the houses of the parliament and the state legislative assemblies member can participate in the election of president. In the electoral college of president, Delhi and Puducherry legislative assemblies member also can participate. Match list 1 election slogan with list 2 party and coalition and choose the correct option given below. India signing. This election slogan was given in 2004 and it was given by National Democratic Alliance. Ma Mati Manos. This slogan was the famous slogan during the election of 2009. It was given by Indian National Congress. Achhe Din 2014. It was given by Bharatiya Janata Party. Ab Hoga Nyay. It was given in 2019 and it was given by Trinamool Congress. So the correct option for this question is option D. National Commission to review the working of the Constitution was headed by M.N. Venkatachalaya. On February 22, 2000, the NDA government of India, headed by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, established the National Commission to review the working of the Constitution. It is also known as the Justice Menapalli Narayana Rao Venkatachalaya Commission, with the goal of proposing potential amendments to the Indian Constitution. Social and religious life cannot be separated easily in the Indian context, especially since religion covers almost every aspect from birth to death. Who among the following is the final authority to draw the line between matter of religious nature and secular activities in India? It is judiciary. Whether presidential proclamation under Article 356 was justiciable and if so to what extent. Whether the dissolved legislature can be revived if the proclamation is set aside. Whether the validity of the proclamation can be challenged after it has been approved by Parliament. In which of the following court cases were these questions asked? These questions were asked in S.R. Bomai versus Union of India. This case was the very important case and made many provisions related to President's rule in India. Such articles will never be called into operation and they would remain a dead letter. If at all they are brought into operation, I hope the President, who is endowed with these powers, will take proper precautions before actually suspending the administration of the provinces. This is the famous quote of Ambedkar. Which article of Indian Constitution does this speech refer to? This speech referred to the important article of Indian Constitution, that is Article 356. Match the names in list 1 with issues in list 2 and choose a correct answer. Rayandar Sachar. Rayandar Sachar is related to the issue of status of Muslim community. M.S. Liverhan. He is related to Babri Masjid demolition. J.C. Shah. He is related to national emergency. G.T. Nanavati. He is related to anti-Sikh riots. So the correct option is option C. Who is the chairman of the 15th Finance Commission? N.K. Singh. Match the following books with their authors. Hind Swaraj. Hind Swaraj is the famous book of M.K. Gandhi. Discovery of India. This is a famous book of Jawaharlal Nehru. The Annihilation of Caste. This book is authored by B.R. Ambedkar. So the correct option is option B. In which of the following landmark cases did the Supreme Court uphold reservation for backward classes in government jobs, fix 50% limit for reservation, put forward the concept of creamy layer, and strike down the demand for reservation for financially poor sections among the forward caste? This was Indra Sahane and others versus Union of India, 1992. This reservation was given on the recommendation of Mandal Commission during the BP Singh government. Consider the following statements about pardon in Indian Constitution. Both the President of India and Governor can grant pardon. This is correct. While the President can grant pardon to punishment offered by a court martial, the Governor is not empowered to do so. This is also correct. While the President is empowered to grant pardon to death penalty awarded for offences committed, the Governor is not empowered to do so. This is also correct. So the correct option is option A. Consider the following statements about money bill. Let us see the statement one by one. Money bill can be introduced in either house of the Parliament of India. This is not correct because money bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. Money bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. This is correct. The Raj Sabha has the power to delay money bill for a maximum period of 14 days. This is also correct. So the correct option for this question is option C. Consider the following statements. A Council of Ministers regularly renders aid and advice to the President of India. This is correct. The President can return advice rendered by the Council of Ministers for reconsideration only once. This is also correct. Any written advice rendered twice by the Council of Ministers to the President of India on the same matter is binding on the latter. This is also correct. So the correct option is C option. Vital statistics including registration of births and death is in list 2 state list of the 7th schedule. This is not correct because it is mentioned in list 3 concurrent list of the 7th schedule. Social security and social insurance, employment and unemployment are in list 3 concurrent list of the 7th schedule. This is correct. So the correct option is D. A is false but B is true. There are 3 lists in Indian Constitution for lawmaking. Union list. For union list, the parliament only has the exclusive right for making the laws. State list. For a state list, the state legislative assemblies will make the laws. Then concurrent list. In concurrent list, both state as well as central can make the laws. Apart from this, residuary list is also there. For residuary list, only the parliament has exclusive right to make the laws. Which of the following is true about protective discrimination in India? Let us see the options. It favors special provisions for women and children. This is correct. It provides for reservation of jobs for scheduled tribes, caste and other backward classes. This is also correct. While it allows reservation of jobs, it does not extend reservation in promotion of jobs to OBCs. This is also correct. So the correct option is all of the above. The sixth schedule, which deals with the administration of tribal areas, is applicable to Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Consider the following statements on Indian secularism. It accords respect to all religions and treats them equally in the public sphere. This is correct. It does not prevent the state from addressing retrograde religious practices. This is also correct. So the correct option is both 1 and 2. The minimum age for a person to be eligible for appointment as governor is, that is 35 years. For president also, the minimum age for a person to be eligible for the appointment of the president is 35 years. A new All India service can be created by a resolution under Article 312 of the Constitution. Option C. Statement according to Article 51. It shall be the duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. This is correct. Statement B. The Supreme Court in some judgments has ruled that as the fundamental duties are obligatory on citizens, the states should also observe them. It is also correct. So the correct option is option B. The purpose of voter verifiable paper audit trial is to enable a voter to verify whether his/her vote was cast correctly. Option A. Statement A is, the Election Commission of India is a multi-member commission with a chief election commissioner and two additional election commissioners. The chief election commissioner is the preeminent head of the election machinery. This is correct. The powers of the election commissioner are coordinate and co-equal, since all decisions in principle and in practice are to be taken by consensus or majority vote. This is also correct. So the correct option is option B. The 123rd Constitutional Amendment Act provides constitutional status to, this is National Commission for Backward Classes. Indira Gandhi declared internal emergency between 1975 to 1977. Who among the following was the temporary chairman of the Constituent Assembly? Sachidanand Sinha was the temporary chairman of the Constituent Assembly, and the permanent chairman of the Constituent Assembly was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Devolution means grant of power by an upper level of government to a lower one. The Ashok Mehta Committee laid greater emphasis on Mandal Panchayat. Option D is the correct option. A catch-all party means It means a political party based on the support of different views and ideologies. Which of the following is not the function of parliament? Let us see the options one by one. To form or end the government, this is the function of parliament. To represent the electorate, this is also the function of parliament. To interpret the laws, this is not the function of parliament, it is the function of the judiciary. To legislate, it is also the function of the parliament. So the correct option is option C. The objectives resolution in the Constituent Assembly was moved by, it was moved by Jawaharlal Nehru. Provincial autonomy began with Government of India Act 1935. Red tapeism refers to rigid conformity to formal rules and regulations. Match the following political leaders with the political party they are associated with. Conrad Sangma is associated with National People's Party. Anbumani Ramadas is associated with Pattali Makal Katchi. Prem Singh Tamang is associated with Sikkim Krantikari Morcha. Thal Tirumavalavan is associated with Vidyuthalai Chiruthagal Katchi. Option B. Ethics in governance is one of the reports of the it is the report of the Second Administrative Reforms Commission. Who is the chairman of Niti Aayog? The chairman of Niti Aayog is Prime Minister. Niti Aayog stands for National Institution for Transforming India. It was renamed from the Planning Commission in 2015. Who supported Drunken Draft and GET? Correct answer is Setkari Sangathan. Drunken Draft is concerned with trade. It was related to Uruguay round. It was the negotiations of the GET. Which of the following Constitutional Amendment Act provides the rotation system of reservations in local body election? This is 73rd Amendment of the Constitution. The 73rd Amendment Act was passed in 1992 and it came into effect on 24th April 1993. The Act empowered state governments to take the necessary steps that would lead to the formalization of the Gram Panchayats and help them operate as units of self-governance. Ambedkar converted to Buddhism along with his followers in Nagpur. The Citizens Charter is based on the following principles. Wide publicity on the standards of performance of public agencies. This is correct. Assured quality of services. This is also correct. Access to information. This is also correct. Simplified grievance redressal. This is also correct. So the correct option is option B. Traditional mechanism of accountability are CAG, this is correct. Public Account Committee, this is also correct. Corruption controlling agencies like Central Vigilance Commission, this is also correct. Social audit, it is not correct. So the correct option is option B. Democratic deficit concerns with declining levels of citizens' trust in political institutions. This is correct. Primacy of form over substance. This is also correct. Shift from representative democracy to participatory democracy. This is also correct. Not holding regular elections. This is not correct. So the correct option is option C. Whistleblowers Protection Bill became a law in which of the following years? In 2014. In the year 2011, the Whistleblowers Protection Bill was proposed, which finally became a law in 2014. The Whistleblowers Protection Act 2014 established a mechanism to receive complaints related to disclosure of allegations of corruption or willful misuse of power or discretion against any public servant. It also established a mechanism to inquire or cause an inquiry into such disclosure. Thank you for watching.